Trust is the foundation of any relationship, but what happens when that foundation starts to crack? Sometimes, the signs of secrecy are so subtle, you might miss them entirely. Today, we're exposing 10 often overlooked clues that your partner might be hiding something from you. These aren't the obvious red flags. They're the quiet, easily dismissed behaviors that could signal a deeper issue. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped to spot these hidden indicators and address them before they undermine your relationship. The psychology of secret keeping in relationships. Secrets in relationships are more common than you might think. They can range from harmless white lies to significant betrayals. Understanding why people keep secrets from their partners is crucial. Often, it's not just about deception, fear of judgment, shame, or a misguided attempt to protect the relationship can all play a role. Recognizing the signs of secret keeping early can be vital for the health of your relationship. It opens the door to honest communication and allows you to address issues before they escalate. Remember, these clues don't always indicate malicious intent, but they do suggest it's time for an open, honest conversation. 1. They've become overly protective of their digital devices. In our hyper-connected world, a sudden change in how your partner guards their digital life can be telling. If they've started turning their phone face down when you're around, or have suddenly changed all their passwords, it might be a sign they're hiding something. This behavior extends beyond just phones. Notice if they close laptop lids quickly when you enter the room, or if they've started logging out of all their accounts on shared devices. While everyone deserves privacy, a drastic change in digital openness could indicate they're concealing information from you. Pay attention to new habits like taking calls in another room, angling their screen away from you while texting, or becoming defensive when you glance at their device. These changes in digital behavior, especially if they occurred suddenly, could be red flags worth addressing. 2. Their emotional reactions seem disproportionate. When someone's keeping a secret, their emotional responses can become skewed. You might notice them overreacting to seemingly minor events or questions. For instance, if a casual inquiry about their day triggers an unexpectedly defensive response, it could be a sign they're hiding something. Pay attention to these emotional incongruencies. Are they unusually quick to anger over small things? Do they become overly emotional about topics that never bothered them before? These disproportionate reactions often stem from the stress of maintaining a secret, causing them to be on edge. You might also notice mood swings or periods of unexplained anxiety. The mental toll of keeping secrets can manifest in erratic emotional behavior, so any significant and sudden changes in their emotional landscape could be a clue that something's amiss. 3. They've developed new, inexplicable routines. Sudden, unexplained changes in your partner's daily routines can be a subtle indicator of secret keeping. Perhaps they've started taking unusually long detours on their way home from work, or they've begun insisting on doing the laundry when they've never shown interest before. While new habits aren't inherently suspicious, it's the lack of explanation that raises red flags. If these new routines don't have a logical reason behind them, and your partner becomes evasive when you ask about them, it might be worth paying closer attention. Look for patterns in these new behaviors. Do they always occur at specific times, or in relation to certain events? Are they consistent, or do they seem to happen randomly? A partner with nothing to hide should be able to explain new routines openly. If they can't or won't, it could be a sign they're trying to cover something up. 4. Their stories don't add up. When someone's keeping secrets, keeping their stories straight becomes challenging. You might start noticing small inconsistencies in what they tell you. Maybe they mention a lunch meeting on Monday, but later refer to it happening on Wednesday. Or perhaps details about a night out with friends keep changing subtly each time it's mentioned. These discrepancies might seem minor, and on their own, they could be simple mistakes. However, a pattern of inconsistent storytelling, especially about their whereabouts or activities, could be a sign they're struggling to maintain a fabricated narrative. Pay attention to how they react when you point out these inconsistencies. Do they become defensive or try to quickly change the subject? Are they able to provide clear explanations for the discrepancies, or do their clarifications only add to the confusion? Consistent truth-telling is easy. It's keeping lies straight that becomes complicated over time. 5. They've become excessively generous. Counterintuitively, an unexpected increase in generosity can sometimes be a clue that your partner is hiding something. If they've suddenly started showering you with gifts, planning elaborate dates, or being overly accommodating, it might be coming from a place of guilt. This behavior, often called love bombing, can be an attempt to compensate for their secret keeping or to distract you from noticing other changes in their behavior. While generosity itself isn't a bad thing, a sudden and extreme shift in this direction, especially if it feels out of character, might be worth examining more closely. Consider the timing of this increased generosity. Does it coincide with other suspicious behaviors? Are the gifts or gestures accompanied by an unusual level of affection or declarations of love? While it's wonderful to be treated well in a relationship, be wary if it feels like your partner is trying too hard to prove their devotion without any apparent reason. 6. Their friend group has shifted mysteriously. A sudden and unexplained change in your partner's social circle can be a subtle clue that they're keeping secrets. Have they abruptly stopped mentioning certain friends they used to talk about frequently? Or maybe they've introduced new friends but seem reluctant for you to meet them. Pay attention to how they talk about their social life. If they become vague about who they're spending time with or change the subject when you ask about certain friends, it could indicate they're compartmentalizing parts of their life to maintain a secret. Notice if they are spending more time with people you don't know, or if they're suddenly very protective of their phone when receiving messages or calls from these new acquaintances. A partner with nothing to hide should be open about their friendships and willing to integrate their social life with yours. Secrecy in this area could suggest they're cultivating relationships they don't want you to know about. 7. They've developed unusual financial behaviors. Money can often be a window into hidden aspects of a person's life. If your partner has suddenly become secretive about their spending, or you notice unexplained transactions, it might be a sign they're financially supporting a secret aspect of their life. This could manifest in various ways. Perhaps they've started insisting on separate accounts when you've always shared finances. Or maybe they're making large cash withdrawals without explanation. While financial privacy is important, a sudden shift towards secrecy in this area could be a red flag. Pay attention to any unexplained expenses, or if they become defensive when discussing money, matters. Are they suddenly very interested in handling all the bills themselves? Or perhaps they have started hiding credit card statements or bank notifications. These changes in financial transparency could indicate they're trying to conceal spending that they don't want you to know about. 8. Their physical intimacy has changed dramatically. Significant changes in physical intimacy, either an increase or decrease, can sometimes indicate secret keeping. If your partner has become notably more affectionate or, conversely, seems to be avoiding physical contact, it might be worth paying attention. An increase in intimacy could stem from guilt, similar to excessive generosity. On the other hand, a sudden aversion to physical closeness might indicate they're emotionally distancing themselves due to a secret they're carrying. While intimacy naturally fluctuates in relationships, dramatic and unexplained changes could be a subtle clue. Notice if they seem uncomfortable with casual touches or if they have started avoiding situations that might lead to intimacy. Alternatively, if they've become overly passionate without any apparent reason, it could be an attempt to mask their guilt or distract you from other aspects of their behavior. Any significant shift in physical intimacy that can't be explained by external factors, like stress or health issues, might be cause for concern. 9. They've become overly interested in your schedule. If your partner has suddenly developed an intense interest in your daily routine, it might not be just about thoughtfulness. This behavior could indicate they're trying to carve out safe times for their secret activities. Notice if they frequently ask about your plans in detail or seem overly concerned with knowing exactly where you'll be and when. While it's normal to coordinate schedules, an unusual preoccupation with your whereabouts might suggest they're planning around your absence. Pay attention if they start encouraging you to spend more time away from home or with friends, especially if this is out of character for them. They might be creating opportunities to engage in activities they want to keep hidden. Also, be wary if they become anxious or irritated when your plans change unexpectedly. This reaction could indicate that your presence is interfering with something they had planned to do while you were away. 10. Their attitude towards certain topics has shifted abruptly. Sometimes, the secrets people keep can change their perspectives on related topics. If you notice your partner has developed a sudden, strong opinion on an issue they were previously neutral about, it could be a clue. For example, If they've become unusually defensive about privacy rights or have started expressing strong views on topics like infidelity or financial independence out of the blue, it might be connected to something they're hiding. These shifts in attitude can be subtle indicators that there's more going on beneath the surface. Pay attention to any new, passionate stances they take, especially if they seem to come from nowhere. Are they suddenly very interested in a particular subject they never cared about before? Or perhaps they've become overly critical of behaviors they once considered acceptable. These changes in perspective could be their way of justifying their secret behaviors to themselves, or preparing the ground for eventual revelations. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.